Well, good night, SEC fans. My name is Paul Feinbaum, and I have with me the head coach of the LSU Fighting Tigers, Mr. Les Miles here. Les Miles, how are you doing this evening?
Feeling quality, Paul. Feeling quality.
All right. Well, I've got a couple questions for you tonight. First and foremost, what do you think of the Alabama Crimson Tide's chances this year in the SEC?
It's a quality opponent. We look forward to beating their ass in Tiger Stadium come November.
You mean to tell me the LSU Tigers, who have basically become irrelevant in the SEC, plan on beating my Crimson Tide?
The audacity of the quality of that statement is perplexing.
Well, good sir, I have to tell you that the Alabama Crimson Tide are looking for their 17,000th national championship this year, and looking forward to playing in the college playoff football system against probably somebody from the SEC East, because I doubt your Tigers are going to make it out of the SEC West, with my Alabama Crimson Tide looking fantastic with a brand new quarterback that has not seen any game time, but it doesn't matter because they trust in the process. What do you think about that, Les Miles?
If my memory serves correct, your team has had some problems handling some quality opponents, such as Tigers.
But last I checked, my team doesn't have any problem handling any opponents. Last I checked, Crimson Tide, Roll Tide. God, it pains me to say that. All right. Welcome.
That's the best. You can come up with any Les Miles answer, but just using the word quality.
As long as it has the word quality in it, it's good. Welcome to the 1-year anniversary.
Which, Ryan, I just realized today, thanks to Time Hopper.
Thank you. Thanks to Time Hopper.
I knew it was coming up, but
yeah.
I thought it was in August.
I thought it was too. I thought we were right around before football season, which is right upon us.
So we're at episode 48, which means we only took like 4 weeks off in an entire year.
That.
And that's mostly just basically for holidays.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Hardest working people in show business, right?
Hey, I'm trying to tell y'all. We're still waiting on that Lucy sponsorship, but I guess we're going to keep waiting on that.
Maybe they just want more free plugs before the podcast.
Probably so. Give them like 2 or 3 more, and they might, at least give us some free food or something.
Yeah. Oh, so we're going to have to go to Happy's.
Yep. We will.
They have a nicer courtyard.
Just like switching from Nike to Adidas, we will switch from Lucy's to Happy's.
Oh, yeah. We'll even do, the represent,
hold it down.
Hold it down.
Hold it down.
Exactly. But, as usual, he's a legend, Ryan Landry. Hey, I'm Matt Gover, and this is our Saints training camp preview show, which means we're getting close to, like you said, Ryan, football season.
Yeah, I mean, the guys are arriving in Greenbrier to start training camp on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken.
2 days away from it.
It's a very nice facility.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder, did the city of Greenbrier just put that in a bid? Did the Saints pay for it?
One guy, one multimillionaire.
Okay.
Put in the money for this place. This was already a athletic training facility, and they custom geared it for the Saints. 55,000 square foot facility between indoor and outdoor. It's got 3 fields, 2 synthetic, 1 natural grass, weight room, spa.
Very nice locker room.
Very nice locker room. The whole 9 yards is going to be open to the public for a lot of them, and it's going to have a shuttle bus transportation from the parking lot, about a 5-minute shuttle ride.
Anybody wants to make the road trip or finance Ryan and I to go up there?
Shit. You want to pay for my week vacation or the week I'll be docked from pay?
Oh, yeah.
Whatever you want to call it, hell, we'll be there.
Yeah.
It's looking like these guys are really going to have a nice training facility to practice in for the next
But I mean, if we're going to sacrifice a week's pay like that, we better at least not only just get the accommodation, we want the Lear jet.
Oh, hell yeah.
Flight up there as well.
Call Vincent and Loomis. I'm sitting first class, so I can drink champagne out of a real glass.
What about orange juice?
Well, we can have mimosas. Oh, you mean just orange juice? Oh, man.
Out of a champagne glass?
Yeah. Definitely. Well, Matt, what do you have to look forward to in this training camp? I found a couple things, but I'll let you take this one.
One of the most interesting things about training camp is always the position battles. And you're going to have them every year, and some of the most fun ones I always like to observe a wide receiver and cornerback. One, because they always go against each other, mostly in 7-on-7, and then that's a position on the team that's going to have 5 to 6 roster spots.
Yep.
And every year you just seem to have what they call a training camp all-star. You've seen some birds, like an Andy Tanner type of player.
That's the guy I was just thinking of.
He's back there in camp again. He'll have a shot to make the roster. It's going to be an interesting battle for sure with the wide receivers. Cornerbacks, I think one of the guys you and I were talking about earlier, you got Patrick Robinson coming back from that injury.
Yep.
And then, of course, the champ is here.
The champ is here, and we're not talking about no John Cena. Champ Bailey, the 12-time Pro Bowler in 15 seasons, will be dressing up in the black and gold this year. And it's interesting you mentioned Patrick Robinson after that ACL injury he suffered last year. In OTAs and minicamps this year, so far, he's been lining up with the first-team squad, so he should be geared to take that first spot back. And much like we predicted, that Champ was going to play much more of a nickel position.
Right.
You know, Champ's got statistics that not many people in NFL history can brag about. This guy's got 52 interceptions, 9 forced fumbles, 5 fumble recoveries, 235 passes defended, and 12 Pro Bowls in 15 seasons. So he's averaging 4 out of every 5 years he plays, he makes a Pro Bowl.
There you go.
Incredible.
I mean, that's the first ballot Hall of Famer. he at least gets in the conversation for greatest cornerback ever.
Oh, yeah, he's up there.
He's definitely up in that conversation for sure. But also in just football related, before we name drop here, just football related, he's sort of like a big signing like Darren Sharper was during the Super Bowl season. Remember, football related.
Lest we remember what happened when Darren Sharper was playing for the Saints on the field, playing football, disregarding everything else that happened. We signed a Hall of Fame cornerback, or defensive back, should I say, who people thought was kind of washed up, who might have had 1 or 2 good years left. And
but man, he's just a field general.
One of these things happened. You know, Atlanta's still waiting for theirs to come in. I think they ordered them off of eBay or something, custom made, because I know they didn't earn one yet.
That's the closest they're going to get to one.
Closest they're going to get, you damn right.
Especially that. What is it? Speaking of Atlanta, what's up with that new stadium that they're getting?
I'm not sure. I don't know much about it.
It's.
But no, we're not giving them any airtime. To hell with that.
Yeah, to hell with that.
To hell with that.
We'll make fun of them later.
Yep. Some other people to watch, to keep an eye on in training camp, as training camp opens on Thursday, is Victor Butler's coming back off of his injury on his second year of his 2-year contract. And there's been a lot of talk that if Victor Butler can come back into the defense with Cam Jordan, who had 12.5 sacks last year, Junior Gillette, who had 12 sacks last year, added Victor Butler. You got Akeem Hicks, who had 4.5 sacks, but he also had 72 tackles coming off the D-line.
4.5 sacks is good for
D-line, absolutely.
Especially Hicks. His role is basically to be the big defensive tackle that
the gas stopper.
Take up 2 of the offensive line. You know, so if he's getting sacks, I mean, that's just showing how productive.
And 72 tackles in last season. You know, if you do the math by 16 games, that's relatively close to 4 or 5 a game.
About 4.5 a game.
And as a defensive lineman, as you said, the gap filler, the gap stopper, to let the linebackers penetrate behind the line of scrimmage.
Right.
He's doing a lot of work on the D-line. And there was talks of him possibly, we talked about him possibly being one of the ones who takes a casualty, maybe not this season, but next season because of the Jimmy Graham contract. But
right.
Should the defense shape up in even better shape than we were in last year, Hicks might be willing to take a smaller contract or at least a restructured.
Yeah. Or if anything, by then, whenever his contract is up, I'm guessing maybe it has 2 more years on it. Usually a middle round pick is a 3-year deal.
Yeah.
Let's just for conversation purposes, let's say it's 2 more years. In 2 more years, you may be able to start making room to where you could push some of that more restructured Graham and Brees to try to free up some room to
absolutely
prolong, I guess, their core.
Right. Right.
But that'll be 2 years down the line, and also 2 years is a long time. I mean, will Brees still be playing at elite level? He could be.
Could be.
Brett Favre was, a solid quarterback even up to 40 years old. I mean, he led the Vikings to the NFC Championship game at the age of 40.
Or he got his ass kicked. But he wouldn't die. He just wouldn't give up.
He seems like he's like the mankind of the NFL.
Yeah. He had a straight Jimmy V attitude in that game, man. Never, ever give up, no matter what. Regardless if there was any kind of money on his head or not.
Allegedly.
Here go the quotes again.
Of course, we got to cover our asses.
Of course. Now, somebody else to keep an eye on, though, guys. Jarius Byrd, the brand new free agent pickup out of Buffalo. In 5 seasons, he's had 22 picks, 5 fumble recoveries, 11 forced fumbles. And he has only gone 1 season of his first 5 with 3 or less interceptions. Every other season, he's had at least 4, if not more. It's an interesting statistic to add to a defense like the Saints had last year. which will kind of allow Kenny Vaccaro to do what he does best, and that's just roam.
Right.
Just roam.
And for the first time since it's been a while, Saints fans won't have to ask the mockery question, can he play safety?
Oh, finally.
Finally.
We don't have to ask that question anymore.
It just kind of feels weird. Because even if one of them gets hurt, Raphael Bush is a pretty decent, capable replacement.
He's a quality replacement.
He's a quality. We're sticking with the quotes. We might as well go all out.
Come on, Coach.
What's the word that Jim Haslett used to say? Heck of a.
Yeah, he's a heck of a ball player.
He would say it like he was spelling like heck UVA.
Yeah.
As if it was one word.
HECKUVA.
Maybe he thought that's how it was spelled.
Oh, of course, man. Louisiana education. Not going to knock our education system any more than the rest of the public does.
At least we're not Mississippi.
At least we're not Mississippi or Alabama.
Right. We're like 47. Moving on up.
Right. Another guy to keep an eye on this during this training camp is the silent assassin Marcus Colston, entering his 9th year in black and gold. It's kind of hard to wrap our head around the fact that
that's mind blowing.
It was 2006 when we drafted this guy in the 7th round, and he is now the leading receiver in franchise history, and will continue to add to his numbers. You know, he had 75 catches last season for right under 1,000 yards, which is the first season, I want to say, in the past 6 that he went under 1,000. And people were calling it a slouch year because he had 945 yards.
But didn't he also miss a couple games last year?
I think he did because he's been battling off and on with a foot injury for the past couple seasons. It's never been severe, but it was enough to cause him a low complication. But when you got somebody with Jimmy Graham catching over 1,000 and 16 touchdowns.
That's something. This thing spread it out so much.
Exactly. For Drew to spread it out so much and Colston to still have 75 catches over 16, 17, 18 games. Mm-hmm. And, it's incredible numbers, and people were trying to knock the fact that he only had 945 yards.
It's a pretty damn clutch catches last year from what I remember.
Yes, he did.
They call him Big Smooth for a reason.
We're going to have 11 wide receivers fighting for the roster spots with the likes of Brandon Cooks, Nick Toon, who should show up finally, Colston, Kenny Stills. You've got Andy Tanner, who's been the crowd favorite off the practice squad.
Can Joe Morgan come back from that?
Joe Morgan. There's a new guy, I can't remember, Shontavious Jones out of Valdosta State, who's an undrafted rookie, who's 6'3", 200, who was a 2-year first-team All-Gulf South Conference. But, we laugh at Gulf South Conference, but to be back-to-back all-conference first team at 6'3", 200, I think he had like 17 touchdowns last season. I don't care who you played for in college. If you got 17 touchdowns in one season, Lewis and Peyton are known for grabbing these guys out of the woodwork.
Pro Bowler,
right, exactly.
I mean, we have linemen from Towson and Bloomsburg College and
they grab these talents.
University.
Exactly. William and Mary. I don't even know if they have a football team. Who knows? It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. He's the one guy who caught my eye just by numbers alone at 6'3", 200. This guy's no slouch. He's a pretty big guy.
He's got some height for sure.
So he's going to match up another. One person they didn't mention when I was doing some homework of this was Jean-Baptiste.
Yes.
What's going on with him, Matt? Do you have any news on him?
They say he impressed a lot in rookie minicamp.
Okay.
He's ready to go in there. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to start, but I think he's a guy that just like John Blake on our first-round pick.
Jabari? No, first round.
Wide receiver.
Brandon Cooks.
Brandon Cooks, thank you. Those two guys they think will make an immediate impact and see playing time early.
Well, what was the nickname they gave Brandon Cooks? Was it Lightning? Flash?
I think it was Flash.
I think it was Flash. Yeah, something to do like that. This guy's blinding speed. If he gets out in an open field and gets 2 steps on a receiver, it's 6. It's game over because we already know Drew.
And he's got great hands.
I mean, Bolitnikov winner. Yeah. From Oregon State. Who the hell would have called that?
Actually, here's an interesting trivia. Just because you said it's kind of like the light bulb,
right?
You know me, I got my random ass.
Of course, snowball effect.
This is actually the second Bolitnikov winner from Oregon State that the Saints have drafted. The other one was in the mid-2000s. I think it was right towards the end of Haslett, early Peyton era. But that guy named Mike Hass, white guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like he ended up maybe making the team one year, but never really played much. But I remember him from training.
I remember that name.
Right. You seen that? I was like, we drafted Mike Hass in the 6th round. Another Bolitnikov winner.
Fell to the 6th round. Damn, how the game has changed.
I think he's playing.
Well, even then so, man. Think about Mike Evans. Mike Evans is what, a first-round pick?
Yeah.
First-round pick out of A&M.
Top 10 pick, I believe.
Went to Tampa. You got Brandon Cooks, a Bolitnikov winner in the first round. You got to think the Bolitnikov winner 10, maybe 12 years ago was a 6th-round pick.
Yeah. What was it? Even when Josh Reed lit it up for LSU, he was a 2nd-round pick. Now his height was in question.
Right.
But
you got to take all these things into consideration. The game has changed so much.
Brandon Cooks doesn't have the largest height in the world, but he has speed.
Oh, yeah. What was he? 5'10", 5'11"? Maybe 6 foot is generous.
Maybe 5'11".
But this guy's got what was it? A 4.24 40?
I remember it being sub 4.3 or right around 4.3.
Ridiculous.
It's slightly fastest in the combine, what I remember, right?
He was the fastest wide receiver in the combine and 2nd fastest overall. Your boy from Kent State had the fastest combine time.
Yes.
But he wasn't running in the Adidas Addy Zeros, so he didn't get the 10 grand.
Oh.
Brandon Cooks did. All right. Getting paid before he gets paid. That's right.
He put a down payment on the car.
Or his mom's car. Matter of fact, I think that was what he did.
That's right, he did buy Mama.
I thought he did. Yeah, he bought Mama a car.
He bought Mama.
So not only is he fast, not only is he an award winner, but he loves his mom.
Oh. I mean,
that's character, man. You gotta love character.
That is character. And that reminds me of an episode of The League where they were also talking about guys and how they have words that are stereotyped for races and stuff like that. Every time they say character, quality, or black guy, you're like, oh, me and TJ Hayes. And then they had a different one for white receivers. They were like, oh man, he's athletic, It's like, so he's a white guy that can run.
So he doesn't get in trouble.
Yeah, it was just like, all right, yeah, we didn't have to be stereotypical there, all right?
Speaking of trouble, Cleveland's in trouble.
Oh.
Let's just touch on that real quick.
Oh.
Gordon's not going to see the field for at least the first 4. Manziel's jersey is the #1 selling jersey in the NFL.
He's never even touched
and he hasn't even touched a football on the field yet. What in the hell is going on?
Cleveland's been the cellar dweller for all their franchises for years. I guess any spark of excitement for them. I mean, yeah, they had a couple decent years with LeBron. The Indians were up and down in the 90s, but other than that,
I think the most excitement they've seen is that 70s show.
Oh,
Cleveland rocks. That's about it.
And Drew Curry.
That's about it. But we're off topic. It'll be interesting, guys open up training camp, like we said, in Greenbrier on Thursday. First game is what?
It's
about 3 weeks away?
It's coming up. It's August 8th.
At St. Louis.
At St. Louis
Yep.
to start. I think the 8th is the Friday. And then they'll be at home against our buddy Greg's Titans. You want to see Mettenberger? Maybe he'll be recovered from his sucker punch.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, he's
fine from the ACL.
He's fine
now
from the
sucker punch,
ACL.
stupid Bama.
Gumps are going to gumps.
Now, were you surprised?
No.
No, not at all. For those of you who don't know what happened to Zach Mettenberger, he got sucker punched in a Tennessee bar one night because some guy walked up to him and said, "Roll Tide." So he looked back at him and said, "Yeah, good luck with that." And somebody else punched him in the face and then ran out the bar into the street.
And did he really think the security guards were not going to catch him?
Yeah, and they caught him. But in the quality man that Zach Mettenberger is, changed from how he used to act at Georgia, he's not pressing charges. And neither is the bar owner. Because Zach Mettenberger, quote, has never caused him a problem anytime he is in there, end quote.
He just likes to have a good time.
Hey, we all just like to have a good time. Why do you think we do this show?
This is true.
But with that being said,
it's definitely not for the salaries.
Yeah, it ain't the salaries. We're still waiting on our first paycheck. Or our first sponsorship.
I feel like we're going to afford this set.
Yeah. I don't know how we do it. That's where I have to go tonight. I have to go sell my soul so we can make next week's episode.
Speaking of next week's episode, Ryan and I haven't had a challenge in a while. So you're in for a treat because our historic episode 50 is only 2 episodes away. You're going to get Matt versus Ryan challenges the next 2 episodes.
Back to back.
Let that blow your mind, Kafalfo.
Yeah, Kafalfo. You didn't even suggest this one. We actually thought of this on our own.
We got the
Yes, we're capable of that.
Got a big tennis tournament coming up in the summer in a couple weeks down in New York. So Ron and I are going to have our very amateur version of the U.S. Open. We got the tennis court right outside the studio here, and we'll go to a set. First one,
Yeah, we play a set.
We'll play.
Might take forever.
Might take forever. We may have to do a lot of editing on this one.
And I heard they're actually taking bets in Vegas on how many double faults there will be in this match.
Oh boy.
So with that being said, folks, get your bets in. It's going to be quite
We'll
interesting.
release the Vegas odds later on in the match.
16-1.
And then, of course, episode 50 is the big LSU football preview.
Hell yes.
And then right after that, 51 is going to be the Saints show at training camp. We're gonna get some kind of training camp thing going. We've got 3 big shows coming.
Again, hell yes.
Football is here, ladies and gentlemen.
And episode 50 is, I'm kind of fearing the Matt versus Ryan challenge on that one. Because I'm not trying 55-mile-an-hour fastball. I don't care if I'm in a cage with a helmet and a hockey suit on.
In fact, speaking of that challenge, we're going to be throwing it back at them. Still have the Air Tech 2 baseball bat.
Oh,
We're going to be using that.
Nice.
I bet it's still got some pop in it. I miss the juiced up bats.
How it used to be. Memories. Think about the olden days.
But the memory does indeed remain.
Oh, the memory definitely remains.
Hey, I'm the top is looking for work. We can use a theme.
You're right.
Hey, they want to
Now
go.
the Sandman's done.
Yeah, they want to go. We can use a theme song.
Call James. You still have his number?
Yeah,
Perfect.
I'll
Call
call
James.
James. Call James after the show.
Just tell him to leave Lars at home. I can play drums.
That's right. You can play drums. Yeah. If Keith and Jacob want to play rhythm and bass guitar,
You're right. We just need James.
Yeah.
We need the authentic Yale.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
It seems like most rock songs, Metallica is an excellent example of it. It seems like all the sentences end in the letter A.
Oh, that was just the 90s. Pearl Jam. Eddie Vedder. The only thing you could understand was, hey,
Something.
words,
Concrete,
made of
even
concrete.
flow.
Yeah, all that nonsense. Well, Matt, you got anything else?
We actually did have one fan mail tonight. It was about, I'll go ahead and pull it up. It was about LSU's baseball class, I believe. It was somebody
Number 1
called Nelly.
in the nation.
Ellen Canzaro, official.
Yes. Super stoked about Cannizzaro. The old Tulane All-American and Yankees East Coast scout is now the LSU hitting coach now that Burrito Sanchez is gone.
He's down in Benito Ami now.
Yep. Peace out. We won't miss you. He's at my University of Miami?
Just the city.
Oh,
He's
okay.
from there.
Oh, so he went back.
Whatever his
Bye, Felicia.
I love when people are like, what is this Bye Felicia?
Go watch Friday if you don't know what Bye Felicia means.
And the great thing is like, what is this new Bye Felicia?
It's not new.
No,
It's like 1993.
yeah, I'd say that movie's 20 years old, right?
Yep.
That's-
Chris Tucker didn't have gray hair back then.
Oh, wow.
That's how old it is.
Okay, here we go.
Ice Cube was still a rapper. That's how old it is.
Ooh, wow.
And he was only a rapper. He wasn't an actor at that point. No.
You wasn't making barbershop.
No.
Yeah, that's it. Our buddy JB, he goes, well, we already talked about Cannizzaro. What capacity of coaching will he contribute, and how much of a difference does it make on recruiting? I mean, the quote-unquote Spaniard Mexican Sanchez, all right, that's not racist, wasn't bad in the recruiting department looking back. In fact, they probably could have kept him on board as an assistant coordinator, not just as a hitting coach, LOL.
I think
It's
I don't know much about Avi Sanchez's past. I don't know much about his career before he came to LSU, but I do know Cannizzaro has a lot of prestige here in Louisiana as well as across a lot of programs.
And a lot of major league executives will vouch for him.
Right. He was a coach a scout for the Yankees for the past few years. He's originally from Mandeville. He played at Tulane, was on their first College World Series team back in, 01? 01. He was an All-American.
Actually beat Skip Bertman in his last game to go there.
He was batting, I think he batted like 360 over his last season as a Tulane Green Wave. He was incredible.
Yeah, he was an All-American.
So he knows everything you got to know. So we're really going to see what he can bring to the table.
I think he'll do a good job, and also I think LSU baseball in itself helps recruit itself somewhat. They have the so-called arguably greatest home field in college baseball.
Yeah,
I know.
there's no argument about it.
I mean, even they got the couple. Well,
There's no argument.
we don't need to go ahead.
There's no argument
Let's
about
just go to statistics.
Yeah, check the attendance rate the past 15 years.
Pretty much.
I rest my case.
But yep, LSU #1 class coming in, and Paul Manera actually came out and said we got the power arms that we wanted. So is he, tipping the hat, revealing the hand a little early, or does he know something we don't? Well, I think Mac Marshall might be the.
Is it official?
Yes.
Okay.
It's official. The class is official. We got 11 out of 12. We only lost one of them. We got some talent coming in. But the question is, how early can they develop?
Now. I think half the talent we're bringing in is already NCAA ready.
They might be. I mean,
and then the guys that we have playing in the summer league.
5 Cape Cod All-Stars. And LSU now has, I think it's 15 in the last, I think it was like 8 years. It's the most out of any college to have the number of All-Stars in like the last 10 years in Cape Cod.
So I know we didn't go to Omaha this year, but can we start counting down the days to Omaha next year? No, to hell with that. I'm counting down the days until August 30th.
39.
I can smell it. It smells like fresh grass. I'm going to need you to go ahead and sample that for me, Coach.
I'll do that. The synthetic grass just doesn't have the quality of packaging.
No, it just doesn't. It doesn't have the quality.
It doesn't warrant.
Nope. And with that being said, Matt,
Plus it's Texans.
we brought a quality show together in 25 minutes. I'm going to the gym. Coach is going back to the field.
We have to get ready for fall practice.
Yep, we have to get ready. I'm going to train.
I have to tell Bugger to quit throwing up the sign. He's going to get us in trouble. Save it for the field.
Bugger Nation.
Quit selling shirts.
Yep.
Tell our players to quit punching glass.
Jesus. But he did tweet out that he's doing just fine. They thought he ripped an entire bicep. This LMFAO was his last name. With a bunch of other letters.
He needs to just quit party rocking.
Yeah. Because he's not in the house tonight. He's in the hospital.
But with that said, next week Ryan and I are going to attempt to play tennis. This should be interesting. But that'll probably be the whole show because this whole set's going to take a while.
Yeah, it sure will.
We'll try to edit. We may need to film some cutaways beforehand and make you look intense. Who knows?
Terrible. I haven't played tennis since I was 15.
It might. Nah, it won't be worse than Charles Barkley's golf swing. I don't think it's
No,
worse than that.
there's not much worse than that.
But that's it. That's all I got. You got anything, Ryan?
Good night, America.
Not America.